So let me take you guys back with me to fall 2006, and it smelled like the trees were changing. My mom's tan Tahoe engine hummed as my brothers grabbed their bags from the back where my car seat sat. I have Spanish with Mario first period, what about you? Dylan asked. My other brother smiled. I'll be hanging with David Bryan. You can find me at Grand Central during lunch. They would greet Ralphie, exchange a handshake, and tell him one day he would have to save a parking spot on campus for me as Ralphie picked me up and spun me around. My mom took my hand and lifted me onto her hip as she carried me and some paperwork to Kenya's desk. Good morning, one of my first exposures to Kenya's warm morning welcomes. Hi, beautiful, my mom would respond, because even then she knew that Alia and Kenya were the fiercest ladies on campus. Yup. During sophomore year, I would grab my daily sour candies from Rachel's office during lunch, when one day Mario approached me and invited me into his office. I sat in the chair across from him in the post-it, stuffy room that never sleeps. Over my 4 years of daily chats in his office, one instance embodies my time here, and I would love to share that moment with you all. He told me that one student came to his office and said that he avoided me at all costs because she looks like she bites people and I'm scared. We both laughed, and I replied, I do. Mario tilted his head and said, girl, I know. My roots in this community are deep indeed. In previous years, the speakers, although amazing assets to our community, have been somewhat predictable. I know that many of you would not have expected me to be standing here today talking to you during one of the major milestones in our adolescent lives. But what most of you haven't always been able to see through my rough exterior is that I embody this school in a very non-traditional way. My public persona may have led people to believe that I would be unmotivated inside the classroom, but New Roads expanded my curiosity and encouraged me to want to learn and show my appreciation for this environment through my academics. I wasn't always kind, nor was I friends with everybody, but I respect that everyone has their place here, and you can always have the chance to connect with people who you may think are beyond your typical associations. Most people figure out after leaving New Roads how well it equips its students with the skills needed to navigate the insane and chaotic world we live in. However, these last 2 years have changed that. Having been in this type of environment for basically all of my life proved itself invaluable when the pandemic hit. My consciousness around the diverse perspectives within my community was immediately raised as a result of the pandemic. First, it was clear that we were all not experiencing the pandemic in the same way. So many of my friends of color found that the conditions under which they lived set them up for a more brutal assault from the pandemic. While this was certainly distressing, I knew that I had to do more than just sit around and feel bad about it. I needed to use my education to help others understand what New Roads taught me about intersectionality, the overlapping and intersecting social identities, which can be both empowering and oppressive. I began to share with my more privileged friends the journey of my own awareness and to challenge them to participate in creating the world that so many say that they want. The power of social change begins with connecting to others and embracing their struggle as one that belongs to all of us. New Roads spent many years helping me to learn this, and I think I'm finally coming to understand its importance. However, what's most special to me about my journey to understanding the significance of social justice is that it occurred in such a natural way. I never thought about all of the diverse people with whom I've interacted for years as BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, people of color. I just saw them as my New Roads people. Yet, as I stand here now, all grown up and more aware of the realities of the world I'm entering, I recognize that my experience in this inclusive community prepared me to see the humanity of people who face very different social conditions than me. The pandemic hit the Black and Latinx communities especially hard, and I couldn't help but think about all the people I love who have been so affected by those impacts. The death of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and so many other BIPOC who have been unjustly killed made me think of all the Black men and women who have protected and guided me. Who would protect them? The attacks on the Asian American community that emerged after the spread of COVID makes me think of how the AAPI, Asian American and Pacific Islander people I know, are dealing with this form of terror. Who's advocating for them? And the attack on the nation's capital made me think of how far some people will go to defend an outdated, unfair, and unjust social order whose time needs to come to an end. When will the dominant groups accept that this nation's founders did not intend to incorporate all the voices that populate our nation today? I grew up sheltered and protected. That's the honest truth, and I can't change that reality. But I can recognize the power of human connection to create the conditions for change, and Neurodes did that for me. It created amazing conditions, love, trust, care, empathy, etc., for me to grow and learn that the power of change lies with me. When Neurodes first began, it was the place for kids who didn't have a place. My mom and dad knew that they had 3 very different kids and that this school would support and guide what we needed as individuals. This class truly embodies individuality, which honestly at times was really hard for us to navigate. But the faculty and administration curated an environment for us that encourages becoming. With the support and love from the administration, I have gone from what Mario refers to as the rebel child, who you all got a taste of today, to the person I'm proud to be now. Today I stand here proud of each graduate's journey to becoming. We are all so different, yet we are bound together by this unique educational experience that has shaped who we are. Diversity and social justice are core pieces of our journey, and I implore you all to carry that awareness with you as we seek to change the world into what we know it can be. Before closing, I would like to give a special thank you to my parents. My mom and dad have taught me unconditional love and have always accepted me for who I am. The gratitude I feel for being a part of our family is beyond words, and through your guys' guidance, I've become the person we all knew that one day I could be. And I thank you for that, for real. And lastly, I know Mario didn't see this part of my speech. I just want to give him a special shout out. I love this man more than life, and he has literally the reason why I can stand here today and confidently say that I love being a part of the class of 2021. So thank you guys.